So I fully recorded this video about 5 or 6 times and then deleted it because I kept being unhappy with it. So let's hope this is the magic one anyway. What's going on, everybody? It's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and we are here today to trigger a bunch of people, unfortunately, because people get triggered over this kind of thing for some unknown reason. So what are we here to talk about today? Well, we are here to talk about a nice little topic that rustles many of Jimmy's. We are talking about console exclusives. Specifically, we're going to talk about Xbox One exclusives, PS4 exclusives, and their effect on each other and effect on the sales numbers of their respective consoles. So, real quick, what brought this video on anyway? Because this is something that could have been brought up almost any time in the last 3 years or so. But I am waiting till now, or at least I think I've talked about it once or twice before. But this specific video now anyway is coming up because of this game you're seeing right now and this footage you're seeing right here. This game is Detroit Become Human. Now I'm currently playing this game on a PS4 Pro on a 1080p TV, so naturally it's going to do the whole checkerboard upscaling thing and then super sample it down to 1080p, resulting in an overall better image than native 1080p. But what's the relevance of this, and why is this whole thing coming about the way it is? Well, I don't buy too many Sony exclusives, I don't buy too many Microsoft exclusives, but I do tend to buy very slightly more Microsoft exclusives than Sony ones. Now I realize in 2018 Microsoft exclusive, and that term is very loose nowadays, but bear with me 1 second and just come along for the ride and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, real quick, let's get into it. PS4, Xbox One, they both launched at the end of 2013, and it's been almost 5 years on the market for both consoles. When you look at my library of games on both platforms, I have 28 PS4 games, my newest one being Detroit Become Human, which arrived yesterday morning. Very strange time for it to arrive because we don't generally have posts on Saturday mornings. But like I said, 28 games, I believe six, actual proper exclusives, not including remasters, only including remakes and true full-on exclusives. These games being along the lines of Killzone Shadowfall, The Order 1886, Until Dawn, The Last Guardian, Detroit Become Human, and the Shadow of the Colossus remake. I left the Shadow of the Colossus remake in there because it is a full-on remake and only obviously available on the PS4, not a remaster like was on the PS3. And then by comparison, you look at my Xbox One library. Here we are again 5 years later, and I own 9 games on Xbox One, 2 of which are exclusive. Halo the Master Chief Collection and Halo 5. And it's funny that Halo 5 actually makes that list, because Halo 5 marks the day and date of the last true Xbox One exclusive game. Now what I mean by that is every first party big title or whatever it is that launched after Halo 5 Guardians back at the end of 2015 has actually launched on PC day and date as the same console release. Let's look at a couple of games real quick ever since that to prove my point. Quantum Break launched day and date on Windows 10 Store. Granted, it was a piece of shit on there and eventually ported superior form to Steam, where it sold considerably better and ran considerably better, so you get my point. Gears of War 4, day 1. Halo Wars 2, day 1. All the Forza games, day 1. Sea of Thieves, day 1. State of Decay 2, day 1. So you see my point, all these games are still on PC day and date, so they're not really true Xbox One exclusives. Now that's why it's a whole loose term these days, but Halo 5 is the actual last proper exclusive anyway. And Microsoft has got a considerable amount of flack over its first party exclusives when it comes down to it, and rightfully so in my opinion. Between cancelling games like Fable, and even though it was a third-party game but it would have been exclusive, Scalebound, although there are rumours that might be coming back this year. And with how terribly received and terribly developed and terrible in almost every way, shape and form State of Decay 2 and Sea of Thieves are, as well as the upcoming Crackdown 3, which also looks absolutely awful, you can see why Microsoft has been getting so much flack, and coupled with their subpar performance in basically every game, it's no wonder the PS4 is killing it with over the double amount of console sales. Conversely, you've got Sony, which kind of heavily focus on the actual story and single player narrative games, something that Microsoft don't do. When you look at a lot of the current Microsoft stuff, most likely Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2, they're extremely content light and they really focus on being online games with a permanent monetization track, be that through expansions, DLC, season passes, or microtransactions because it's 2018. And then you look at a lot of the first party Sony games. Now again, I'm not a huge fan of many of the Sony IPs. But let's look 6 months in the past and 6 months in the future just to give you a general idea of what we're looking at from the first party Sony side. Shadow of the Colossus remake. Full-on single-player game, no additional content or no additional anything to purchase. God of War 4, same deal. Last of Us 2, most likely going to be the same deal. Last of Us 2, same deal, although it wouldn't surprise me if they put in a couple of extra, maybe bits of currency or a couple of extra little bits of cosmetic items, because they did that in Last of Us 1 and who knows how that went really. But the big thing is the main focus of that game has always been the single player. And now obviously we don't know if there's going to be DLC or story add-ons or new campaigns or anything for that, but we'll wait and see. Spider-Man, granted I believe it's in a weird place, but it is an exclusive game. I think it works out as a second party exclusive or maybe a third, I'm not sure. There's that other game with the name I always butcher, I believe it's something like Days of Tsushima or something. Not 100% familiar with the actual development of that because it's not my kind of game. And then there's of course Death Stranding, which may or may not actually be PS4 exclusive. There was the really strange and weird worded announcements of the PS4 getting it and potentially being an exclusive on it, but yet after that a community rep posted on the official PlayStation blog that it was coming to PC after PS4. Granted, that doesn't really bother me too much because I probably won't buy it either way, but I'm using it as my example. You look at all these games, they're all mostly big single player games with focus on that. Some of them are just one and done games, by which I don't mean replayability wise, I mean that there's no extra monetization that they're going off on it for you. And many of the Sony games are well received in many ways, shapes and forms. They usually receive high praise for their gameplay, high praise for their graphics, as far as consoles go anyway. Whereas a lot of the Microsoft stuff looks like a joke and is extremely bare bones, and a lot of it plays like a joke. So it really highlights the benefit of buying one console over the other. It really shows that when you look at buying a PlayStation 4 over an Xbox One, you're getting the majority of third-party support, just like you would get on the Xbox One. You're also getting very high-quality first-party titles. And again, I say this as someone who prefers many more of the Microsoft titles, first-party at least, compared to the Sony stuff. But I'm looking at the numbers and the praise and the criticisms objectively. There's far more Sony exclusives receiving 80s and 90s compared to most of the Microsoft stuff, which is lucky to even stay in the 60s. So it's down to a number of things. It's down to poor design or quality design, depending on if you're looking at the Microsoft side of it or PlayStation side of it. It's down to developer talent and skill. Obviously these machines are very weak in comparison to modern hardware, but certain developers can do wondrous things with them. In fact, Detroit actually looks pretty good. It's not as mind-blowingly forward pushing the envelope as everyone makes it out to be, but there's actually one scene in this game that I actually couldn't believe were in-game graphics when it actually started. And I say this as someone who is a high-end, top-end PC gamer who plays all of his games completely maxed out. And there's one scene in Detroit Become Human that actually impressed me. It wasn't just a, oh wow, PS4 can do that, it was, oh wow, that's game graphics on anything. So we'll see how it goes anyway. E3 is just around the corner, but to be honest, I don't think anything's going to change over the next couple of years. I could be wrong, in fact I hope I'm wrong and there is more competition. But Microsoft have been dropping the ball ever since 2013 basically. And granted, they did try to play catch up for a while, but hey, maybe the last like 2 years or so, it feels like they haven't even been trying and they're just saying, fuck it, we're going to come back with a bigger ball in a year or two. Which of course will be the next Xbox or whenever that comes out. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know in the comment section below, even objectively speaking. You can put in subjective stuff as well, with your own personal preferences and opinions and all. But let me know what you think about the whole situation when it comes to first party games on the Microsoft side of it versus first party games on the PlayStation side of it. With what many of the PlayStation games actually offer in either gameplay or scope or focus or visuals, and what that's doing for the console and what it's doing for the opposite console, and the same on the Microsoft side of it. And just for shits and giggles, let me know your favorite actual first party exclusives for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Anyway, this really does feel like this is the proper Magic recording that was significantly better than any of the other ones I've done, so I'm probably going to keep this one. So let me know all that good stuff in the comments section below. Hit the appropriate button to let me know how I did on a video, and while you're at it, why not even hit the subscribe button? Just for fun, click the little notification bell just for the lols. Granted, YouTube probably still won't send you all the notifications for the streams and the videos and whatnot, but at least you can say you tried, right? As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.